Today, we're diving into an interesting aspect of life that many of us encounter: the act of offering advice. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you want to help someone, but you're unsure whether it's your place to say something?
Oh, definitely. I think everyone has been there. You see someone doing something that might lead them into trouble, and you feel this urge to give them some guidance. But like you said, it's tricky. If they don't ask for advice, does it feel like overstepping? Or worse, they might even talk behind your back later.
Exactly. That brings us to a core concept from the grand nature philosophy. According to it, when we offer advice that hasn't been asked for, it can cause problems. It's not just about what we say, but how we say it, and when. Grand nature, or Jungbub, operates based on a law, and when we don't follow it, things just don't flow as they should.
Right, so grand nature teaches us that you shouldn't offer advice unless it's specifically requested. If you do, there might be unintended consequences. The person might seem agreeable at first, but then criticize you behind your back. Why does this happen?
It's because, in a way, you answered a question they never asked. It's like providing a solution to a problem they didn't even see. That's why it often feels like they turn against you after a while. They didn't ask for your help in the first place. If you're offering advice without being asked, you're the one in the wrong.
So it's not just about the advice being helpful or not. It's about whether the timing and context are right. Offering advice at the wrong time or without being asked actually violates this fundamental law of grand nature. It feels wrong because it disrupts the natural flow.
Exactly. And in that sense, it's not about pushing your own agenda. It's about being sensitive to when others are ready to listen. So, in practical terms, how does this apply to someone who's in a teaching or mentoring role?
Great point. For instance, when you're teaching or mentoring, you're supposed to have a certain level of understanding and knowledge before you can really help others. If you're still at a 70% level in your knowledge, you're not ready to be an expert. You can teach those below 30% but can't engage with someone at a higher level yet.
And that's crucial, isn't it? Teaching requires you to keep growing. If you stay stuck at that 70%, when students or mentees reach a higher level, they'll start to notice gaps in your knowledge. And then, instead of being a teacher they can look up to, you become frustrated and defensive.
Exactly. When teachers don't continue their own education beyond that 70%, they start to face challenges. They're unable to answer higher level questions and start lashing out at their students. It's almost like they forgot the core principle of continuous learning.
That's why even when you get a position, like being a professor, it doesn't mean your study is complete. It's just the beginning. You need to keep striving to hit that 100% level. Once you do, you're no longer just a teacher. You become someone whose knowledge is truly refined.
So it's all about growth. Whether you're offering advice, teaching, or mentoring, you should always be mindful of your level. And when you're truly ready, your guidance will naturally resonate with those who are seeking it without any complaints or resistance.
Yes, and I think that's the beauty of the law of grand nature. When we stay humble in our learning and don't offer advice unless asked, we align ourselves with the natural flow, and that's when things work out the best.
So, in the end, we have to remember that even as we advance, the journey is never really over. Our study continues, and only when we reach that highest level of understanding can we truly offer guidance without hesitation.
Exactly. So, what's the takeaway? Always keep learning, be mindful of when and how you offer advice, and remember that your level of understanding dictates how well you can guide others.
Right. Let's keep that in mind as we continue to grow and interact with others. Thanks for diving into this topic. It's a reminder that we must always be aware of our own learning journey.